What's going on, everyone? So, here we are. Game one of the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game one of the Lakers playoff run. Hopefully, a very deep, very successful, very Larry O'Brien-esque type of championship run. Now, I have the full respect and belief, and I'm let's go. Let's get it. Right? I trust this Lakers team. I believe in this Lakers team. The moment we traded for Luka, I said I like our chances much better now than with Anthony Davis. Nothing against Anthony Davis. Love Anthony Davis. Luka's just the better player, better offensive engine, right? I mean, he loves to shred these teams like Minnesota, like Denver, like OKC. I trust him in those big games, in those big moments, doing the things that we need to do on a nightly basis. Right? He's just generating so much more. Right? But this is very important, in my opinion. I don't think this game is do or die, make or break, anything like that, right? Look at the Lakers 2020 championship run. They lost game one in every series, right? Like, it was crazy. And every time they were like, oh, see, the Lakers aren't winning. And the Lakers just like ran through everybody after that. A couple things. One, Lakers aren't as good as that team, right? Like, that team was as good as it gets, complete, deep, versatile, had everything you can want, right? They had size, they had versatility, they had defense, they had shooting, they had everything that you want, right? This isn't that Lakers team. But also, I do think, given the circumstances of this season, given, obviously the fan base, Luka and LeBron and Reeves, right? New head coach JJ Redick, like all these things, the media, what's going on, Minnesota, getting that first win, right? And I don't really feel, obviously I want the first win in every series, right? Especially if the Lakers have home court, really want to set the tone in game one. Win game one, you set the tone, you set the standard. Now the noise and everything is in your favor, all of that, right? But I think more so this series, because it is round one, game one is much more important overall than it would be in, say, round 2, 3, 4. Also, you're probably not going to have home court in some of those other rounds, but that's neither here nor there. Even if the Lakers had home court every step of the way the rest of the playoffs, right? The first game of the playoffs, I think, it's going to be that much more important for the Lakers this year, right? Because again, you have a first-year head coach, JJ Redick. It'd be nice to kind of get his first playoff win out of the way, right? You win game one, you do it'd be nice to kind of just, all right, it's done. Everyone excel. Popping champagne for JJ. Congratulations. The media is like, JJ gets his first win. Like, fans are like, oh my God, JJ gets his first win. Lakers get the first win, right? Like, immediately, all of the noise, all of the attention, all of the excitement, all of the fan, like, everything just shifts in a very positive, hyped, let's go type of situation where if you lose the first game, again, I don't think it's an end of the world. It's a long series. Losses happen. It's fine. But now the fans, you got the whole like, man, see, Lakers can't win. They lost home court. Minnesota's going to win. Minnesota fans are over there like, see how we're going to win. Media and news and all the headlines are like, oh, Lakers choked game one. They had home court. Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, right? Especially if like one of them have a bad game or something. It's like, oh, see, those three can't work. And it changes the vibe. It changes the mood. When is JJ going to get his first win? When is JJ? It changes the vibe. It changes the mood. Where if you get that first established win, everything at that point, it's just the pressure's off, in my opinion, right? More so than, like I said, any other round, because you're going to have all these other kind of points to it that you wouldn't have otherwise. All right, obviously I want the Lakers to win swiftly. I'd love the Lakers to sweep Minnesota or win in 5 or something like that, which I do think they can win. I don't think that they'll sweep them, but I could see them winning in 5, maybe 6, right? Especially if the Lakers can really figure stuff out. To me, boils down to a couple things, right? Got to contain Anthony Edwards. Got to play Rudy Gobert off the court. Got to hit shots, right? Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, they're gonna do their thing. They're going to be great. They're going to, they're going to be Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. But you need guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, Jordan Good. You need Gabe Vincent. You need these guys to consistently put pressure on opposing defenses, on these opposing teams, particularly Minnesota. Minnesota is not this like offensive juggernaut, right? So you need to make sure you're containing guys. Don't let, them all of a sudden become a top offense in the league when they're not that, right? They're very skilled, very athletic, very versatile. They got good defense, a great defense, right? They have their advantages and their favorable matchups, right? But so do the Lakers, right? And Rudy Gobert, his Achilles heel has been small ball, right? Like his kryptonite has been small ball. Play him off the court. You start putting him in space, having him have to defend, right? Like rather than him just being able to camp out. Part of that is guys hitting shots. If Rui and these guys are hitting shots, now you can't just have, Rudy just camping out. Right now you need to go out and contest. Big difference when you're 4 of 6 as composed to 0 of 6, right? So guys are hitting shots. Anthony Edwards, he's going to get his 30 or whatever, but there's a big difference between you getting 30 on 25 attempts and you getting 30 on 12, 15 attempts. Right, like that again can be the difference between you winning or losing a game because it's incredibly inefficient, right? That's taken away from other guys on the offensive side of things, and you can kind of tack away. We need guys. Jared Vanderbilt obviously is going to be huge, and he's got motivation. He's got all those things you want. Dorian Finney-Smith, right? Jordan Goodwin, Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, LeBron James even in a pinch. You have multiple guys and multiple bodies that you can just throw at Anthony Edwards to wear him down over a series. He's one guy. Right? Big reason and part why we had success against Jokic in 2020, outside of he was a very different player then, but part of the reason we were able to contain him so well was because we had multiple bodies to wear him down. He's one guy. We have several. Throw in McGee. You're throwing Dwight. You're throwing Anthony Davis at him and just wearing him down over the course of a series. You might not notice it game 1, game 2, but you start getting to game 3, game 4, game 5, and suddenly those deep breaths start getting a little deeper, right? It's like, okay, he's starting to show those cracks a little bit. So it's really going to boil down to the Lakers being able to hit shots, contain Anthony Edwards, play Rudy Gobert off the court. There's other things that I'd like to see, right? Mike Conley, can you kind of put Mike Conley in a position where they can't really rely on him? And now they got to go with DiVincenzo and they got to go with, Na and all that stuff, right? Because now you take away their playmaking. Now they're not as good of a playmaking team. The offense kind of gets a little stagnant at times, right? You want to kind of slow down their strengths, right? I mean, it's what playoff basketball is. Can you take advantage of your advantages and can you slow down your disadvantages? Can you kind of, which team can kind of make it out, right? You take it a game at a time. You go with your game plan, your game scheming. I trust this coaching staff. It's something I've talked about the 2020 roster. Right? Like that roster was incredible, but the coaching staff was arguably as good, if not better, than the actual team itself. You had such depth on that bench, experience, knowledge, right? Like you had Frank Vogel, you had Jason Kidd, you had Lionel Hollins, you had Phil Handy, right? You had these guys that had success, and and from a player standpoint to a coaching standpoint to all that stuff. You look at this team now. Yeah, this team's really good. I think this team can match up, beat, run through. Right? There's not a team in the league I look at and go, yeah, no chance the Lakers beat them, right? But Lakers can lose. Like they're not so good either that they're just running through the league. But I do love this coaching staff. JJ Redick has been fantastic. I think he should be a Coach of the Year candidate, right? Whether he wins it or not, he needs to at least be a candidate, right? You got Lindsey Harding, right? You got Scott Brooks, Nate McMillan, St. Jean, right? Like you have an excellent coaching staff that, again, is as good, if not better, than the team itself. And they're going to be able to prep. And they've had this week to prep and prepare and get everything in gear to slow down and beat a team like Minnesota. Got to make sure you're holding up your end. You got to make sure you're handling your business. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and the coaching staff is doing what they're supposed to, now all of a sudden all those pieces start coming together. You get that first win. You get that first game. you start building that hype and that excitement and the fan base. And, now Minnesota fans are kind of like, oh, we're not beating the Lakers. It's over. Right? Because look, fandoms, we tend to overreact, right? Talk about it all the time, the pendulum swing, right? It's like when you win a game, it's like, oh, we're the best team in the league. No one's beating us. We're winning the championship this year. You lose one game, you could be up 3-1, right? It doesn't matter. They win that one game. It's like, oh my God, Lakers are going to lose. First team to lose a 3-0 lead, right? Like, it's just like, you want that more on their side than ours, right? You want their fans start speaking that doubt, people on Twitter, and you're hoping that guys are watching that and seeing that, and oh, Anthony Edwards is trash, he sucked today, right? Like, Lakers are gonna win, and then now the hype and JJ won, and you start putting all these things together. All of a sudden, this series, now you're up 2-0, now you're up 3-0, now that's it. Minnesota's cooked, right? So, anyways, always, this is a discussion. Best question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Phil, what are your thoughts? Agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.